Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gold Standard Wrestling. I am Rob Johnson. Here is the intro. But before we get to the intro, let's get to my favorite two things before we get to the greatest intro of all time.
It's Darrell Owens, Legacy Maker Sports Network, and you're watching Gold Standard Wrestling. Let's go.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Gold Standard Wrestling, the Money in the Bank. I got preview, but it's a review. Don't worry about that. This is gonna be a preview of some great wrestling ahead. Don't mind that. I'm Rob Johnson, along with Darrell Owens and Larry Patterson. For the people who don't know who you guys are, which at this point is just ignorance, let them know who you are, folks.
Well, I'm Darrell Owens. Founder of the Legacy Maker Sports Network,
the legend.
I'm not gonna go that far, but avid wrestler fan for those who don't know, and I'm excited to get into this one. Money in the Bank, yes sir. Let's talk about it.
Let them know, Larry, about that Game Time Sports Network. Let them know.
Yeah, man. I say it a lot on here, on your platform, Game Time Sports Network, Facebook, YouTube. Check it out, man. Yeah.
And we got a fiery show tonight featuring what was it, Larry? We're gonna talk about. Is it something about MJ and Kobe versus Hakeem and Hakeem and what was it, Hakeem and Kobe against Michael and Wemby or something like that? Whatever it is, y'all got to find out about that tomorrow night. But tonight we talking wrestling. And go ahead, Larry. Go ahead.
It was Kobe and Wemby and the Dream and MJ.
Oh. And we were going to decide who's going to win that match. Okay, so let's get to this wrestling, folks. So first match, we have Money in the Bank. We got Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, and L.A. Knight. Yeah. Talk about it, folks. Talk about this match. What you think about it? What do you give it? What kind of rating do you give it? Darrell, you go first.
For me, I thought it was a good match.
Okay.
Probably is it the best men's Money in the Bank?
Hell no.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
I'd give it. I would slide it in there maybe around a solid 8, maybe high 7, maybe like a 7.9. I think there could have been a little bit more action in there. We've seen some really good men's Money in the Bank ladder matches. So for me, I personally would give it an 8.
Did it piss you off that Drew McIntyre really didn't do much during this match and he won the damn Money in the Bank? How does Drew McIntyre win the Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. Drew McIntyre is your winner of Money in the Bank, and he didn't even do anything. For me, guys, and I'll get to you, Larry, in a second, to me, the biggest highlight of this match had to be Andrade, the Spanish fly on Carmelo Hayes off the ladder. When you look at Carmelo, when you look at Andrade, they are the ones who set themselves apart in this match. And Chad Gable, that Chad Gable, he impressed in this match. The person that least impressed in this match was actually Drew McIntyre. That's just my opinion, guys. What do you think, Larry?
I'm going to give it about a solid 7. And I agree with Darrell because, we expect a little bit more action. But Chad Gable, to me, I agree with you on Andrade, but Chad Gable, to me, had a special match. Firing off, especially with the German suplexes. He had a great match, and I wanted Chad to win, but hey, Drew had to come through and get that, and we'll get to the other stuff later on.
I feel like in this match, again, and a few other things, Chad Gable nearly killed Carmelo Hayes a few times. You had there was just Carmelo Hayes, to me, really showed out in this match. And guys, and I want to come from this angle. What I hope that doesn't happen, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about, I hope he doesn't become Shelton Benjamin and Kofi Kingston. I hope he doesn't just be one of those guys that just keeps coming to Money in the Bank and does impressive things, and it doesn't come to fruition. You think about it. Think about tonight. We had a former NXT lady who just basically got to the roster. She's Money in the Bank. Little tease for you guys. Braun Breaker, he's out there getting Intercontinental title matches, even though we'll talk about that trash in a second. But guys, we have to see Carmelo Hayes get somewhere quickly, right? I mean, as soon as LA Knight should be taking that U.S. Heavyweight Championship belt at SummerSlam, and as soon as he does it, it should be him and Carmelo Hayes, no questions asked.
Yeah, I think once again Triple H is cooking. You know,
Yes.
I know you said earlier the gourmet on one of the posts that we were talking
it was definitely
back and
gourmet,
forth.
sir.
So, but it's brilliant. Here's the brilliant part of it, Rob. Like long term storytelling is what Triple H does best. When he was champion back in the day, that's what he did well. That's what Vince did with Triple H. He would hold the title for 10 months, whatever. But they did long-term storytelling. What Triple H is doing right now, and I love the fact that he's bringing his NXT people and finding a good way to help build those NXT people. Because when Vince had the NXT people and he would bring them up, a lot of them didn't do well. Why? Because he just kind of threw some gimmick on them and didn't give them the chance to really shine. What Triple H has done has slowly force-fed the NXT talent to people, and they have like slowly but surely become beloved by people who may not watch NXT. If you watch DIY, they win the tag team titles last night.
Huge.
And that's huge because when they first got there, people didn't know about a lot of people, the non-mainstream fans didn't know about the great matches that these guys have been putting on down at NXT. Then we see slow build, like they make them a semi-comedy act, but they know they can wrestle, where they do these little jokes and everything. They use them strategically on social media to have Ciampa try to attack Randy Orton and get the RKO, but it's so smart because what they did is they ingratiated them with the fans. So when they become tag team champions, they get the big pop that they deserve. That's the type of long-term storytelling that Triple H has done and has set them up beautifully. But I say all that to say this, you are right. You know, three of his guys shine the most in his match. Gable, former NXT guy, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade both shine in this match, and you hit it right on the hammer as soon as you said, oh man, I hope you don't get the Kofi Kingston treatment. That's the same thing I said before the match. I said he about to go out there and give him all this Kofi Kingston and Shelton Benjamin energy big time. So I overall for the match, thought it was a good match. They did exactly what they needed to do. They had to make the match look flashy to set Drew up for whatever that debacle is. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but yeah, man, I give it a solid 8. I was really, hoping they may have went another way, but Drew got the win.
I want to talk about a spot in this match, guys, that really just, I want to talk about Chad Gable, how he pretty much took LA Knight out the match with the flip to the outside on the ladder. That was disgusting. Guys, where does LA Knight go from here? Does this diminish him some, or do you think it makes his profile go a little bit higher? Because remember, we didn't see Logan Paul tonight. That was a little bit disappointing. You would think that Logan Paul would have been in this match tonight. I mean, not in the match early, but interfere to maybe, seem like he was a threat to LA Knight, maybe set up something for SummerSlam. With Logan Paul not even showing up, does that kind of kill the credibility of a LA Knight in this match where he was supposed to do better things? Remember, he did the Razor Strut. He did the Razor Ramon. When he went against Shawn Michaels. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, I did my research. We didn't just watch it. We did our research, and we know our pro wrestling history. He did the Razor Ramon. Does that kill his credibility a little bit? I'll go to you, Larry, then you, Darrell.
Kill LA Knight?
His credibility just a little bit, because he wasn't spectacular in this match.
No, he wasn't. But I think it drops just a little bit. But I still think he's got his opportunities coming up. But yeah, Chad Gable, when he put that on him, man, that was crazy. It was a crazy match. That was crazy.
But like I said, do you just feel that it's a situation where if you're LA Knight, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here if you're LA Knight at this point?
He still could get into the United States title picture, Don't you think?
He can, but Darrell, that's my question for you, and I'll bring you guys both on. He can, but we've been seeing this now for a year or so now, and we remember Braun Strowman's push and how that at least he won a championship, right? But LA Knight hasn't even won a singles championship, guys. I need to know, what are we doing here?
Yeah, look, here's the thing. We saw LA Knight and the momentum that he had over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And they pushed him strong. And at one point I said, okay, there were some times where I thought, oh man, they need to hurry up and do something with him. But once again, this is Triple H long-term storytelling. And I think I always tell somebody, I think they're going the Stone Cold route with him, maybe not in the same form. But if you remember, Stone Cold took that path through the mid-card, but he was so over. He was so over that at some point it forced him to put him in that. I think they're going to try to give him that mid-card title. At some point, you got to give him some type of goal to really, really, really show off his talents. But I don't think this match hurts him at all. I thought he performed well in the match. Getting flipped out the ring by Chad Gable under that ladder.
Hey, I know we're talking wrestling, guys, but we talk wrestling, we talk all sports, but sometimes you got to do breaking news. Larry, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Again, we're talking wrestling, folks, but we have to give you some breaking news because this is huge. The Sacramento Kings have agreed on a sign and trade that will land DeMar DeRozan on a 3-year deal, sending Harrison Barnes to the San Antonio Spurs and Chris Duarte. 2 second-round picks and cash to the Bulls. I don't want to talk about it no more. Now let's talk about some wrestling again. So overall, guys, what do you think about Drew McIntyre in this match? Because he was more crappier than the Bulls' decisions in their front office. Go ahead, Drew.
To be honest with you, like I said earlier, I just don't think that I think they were just setting him up for to do whatever in the match. He didn't do that much action. He was chilling on the side, and that's when I knew. You can always vibe these matches. You're like,
exactly,
yeah, he's winning that match. He's not in a lot of the action. He only comes in when he needs to. And just the way it was going, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and do you think that by him doing that he actually destroyed what could have been a lot better match than what it was?
A little bit. I think when he's competing heavily in the match, we know Drew's one of the best in the world. We're not gonna sit here and act like he's not. And when he's clicking and when he's going, I mean, it could have made a better match if we had some more Drew spots in there, but. Like I said, I think they were protecting him for other events.
Other events. Okay. Yeah. Let's say other events. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to wrap this up, guys, just overall, who do you think came out as the winner in this match besides Drew McIntyre? You're one winner.
Chad Gable for me.
I agree.
Because
you know why? Because he was getting the Kurt Angle treatment.
Yes,
he kept getting you suck. So I definitely agree with you on that he got the Kurt Angle treatment. Who do you think, Larry? I think Chad Gable as well. I think that he's going to come out of this a lot better. I think what he's doing is good right now.
Chad Gable, me too. We was talking about that, while the match was going on. I think he had a stellar performance, and with his scare that's going on with the YS6 right now. With that going on, I think it's going to be a little elevation from him, especially with his performance. Even though he didn't win, but I think with a performance like that, you have to elevate him a little bit.
My only fear is that before SummerSlam, he wins the Intercontinental Championship and gets sacrificed at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
that's my only fear. And other thing that puzzled me tonight, guys, was this: as we see Sami Zayn against Braun Breaker. Sammy's beat Braun Breaker, and he beat him clean. He beat him clean. Braun Breaker in this match was absolutely terrific, in my opinion. He did a lot of good things. My favorite part is when he did the Steiner push-ups. He did the Steiner push-ups during the match, and he was pretty much and the Frankensteiner. He climbed the ropes like a spider and did the Frankensteiner on Sami Zayn. But in the end, guys, Sami Zayn wins and retains the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship of the world. As you see Sammy looking drained after getting his ass beat, and getting it handed to him by Braun Breaker. But somehow Sammy wins the match after he counters, and Sammy's the underdog. I'm the underdog. Underdogs. And look, they need to do a cartoon. Underdog Sammy, we love you. Underdog Sammy, Sammy, we love you, Canada. Now go ahead. What do you guys think about this? This trash.
Look, so
great match, but trash at the end.
I told somebody, I think I was asked about my prediction for the match prior to what we did on the show the other day, and I said I don't know how he's gonna do it. I don't know which way he's gonna win, and I don't think it was time yet for Braun to win the match, even though what we saw tonight is the beginning of the next face of the company. Yeah. Like when Roman officially says I'm walking away, he's it. He will be the guy that they push to take the next 10 years down the road. Mm-hmm. He's got it all. He's got charisma. He's got the look. And the crowd is already on his side. He's got the total package. He's the real Lex Luger. he's got the total package. No, I'm just saying, like, what I mean by that is he's not Lex Luger because he's Lex Luger, but he's the total package. He's the real total package. He's got it all. And WWE's always been big about showcasing those talents of family members. We have seen it with the bloodline, all that good stuff. So like that, it's always that nepotism that goes on in here that everybody loves.
There we go with there we go with that damn.
There it is.
There we go with that damn word nepotism again.
But that's what I'm saying. So like he's got the total package, and it's not time for him to win that bad boy just yet, but it is coming. And when it does come, it's going to be well worth it. Because what Triple H did again tonight is he could have easily gave him the belt. Now he's going to massacre people. This is a long-term storytelling where he gives, like, Sammy continues to build his reign, but now people are clamoring more for Braun to win that championship.
Yep. What do you think, Larry? What do you think about this this entire situation we got going on here with Sami Zayn somehow, some way winning the match again and, doing things that Sami Zayn does?
So when I saw Darrell, his explanation and how he explained that it wasn't Braun's time just yet, I was like,
I'm sorry for the colors changing, guys.
It's all good.
It's my fault. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry. Sorry about that, man. The colors changing this shit.
But it made sense. And one word that he did use was, the build up to stuff. You got to build it up. In SummerSlam, I feel like it's the right time for that. So when is SummerSlam in August? What, next month?
August 3rd.
So like we're under a month
in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland. So you can go these little weeks right here and continue to build it up. I do like that, Darrell, because I'm one of those when I see a star, especially like with Braun Breaker, and you guys see it too. It's like, man, put the belt on him, but you gotta let it build up and
man, let it marinate. let it marinate.
Yeah,
I feel like this is the right decision tonight.
But again, does this look like your Intercontinental champ? Look at him. I mean, look at him.
Hey, man, Sammy can go, man.
Why is his wristband so damn dirty? What's going on with that, man? Why is his wristband so dirty, man? I mean, what the hell is going on right now, man?
He just went to war with Braun Breaker, like, that's why.
I mean, but come on. Dirty. That don't mean that his damn wristband need to be dirty. Like, what the hell is going on with this, man? So overall, do you think that this hurts Braun Breaker, guys, in any sense, or do you think that this makes him stronger and he'll get another shot at this IC title? Because ultimately, go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I said ultimately, you know what I want, and I'm glad they didn't do it early. But you already know what I want, and the only reason I want these guys to do this early, I mean, I want him to not lose. It's because I want him to face Gunther eventually for that World Heavyweight Championship. That's what I want.
Right.
So don't mind me, Darrell. I'm doing something.
Hey, yeah.
Look, man. Look.
I said, who is that?
Look, bro. Darrell, I've been working night, bro. I've been getting these graphics up, man. I'm working, brother. I'm working, man.
Hey, keep rolling. I ain't
mad. Work with me. So overall, what do you guys give this match? How do you think this match? What do you give this match in totality on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think it was a solid match. It wasn't like an all-time great, Intercontinental match. I feel like I said probably about it's like a 7.3, 7.4, like it's 7.5. Like it's not full blown. Oh, this was amazing. It was a good, solid match. It would be a good, main event for Raw. You know what I'm saying? But pay
I mean,
no.
yeah, you know, I'll give you that.
I'll give it a 7. I mean, but I still don't get over the fact that he beat him clean. That part I agree with you, Rob. That I'm just like I guess I can deal with it, but we kind of also want Braun to be a little bit unstoppable, so it has to be something that kind of falls that way. But
yeah,
I'll let Triple H cook. I'll let him cook.
What do you give it, Larry? What do you think, man?
I get about a 7.5.
7.5. Yeah. So Larry, when you messaged me, you said something about we didn't care about. You said something about we didn't care about something. What were you referring to, sir? Was that a certain dinosaur?
I was referring to John Cena coming out there and making his retirement.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, are you talking about this guy right here? Yes. Yeah, that's right. More graphics, baby. More graphics. That's
more graphics, baby. Gotta hook them up.
I was working tonight, baby. I was working. Cena will retire after Mania in 2025. Guys, give me a second.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Not the tears.
I gotta tell y'all something. The champ is here. Guys, listen. What was your emotional mindset tonight with John Cena? The greatest of all time. By the way, I even put a message for John Cena here. John Cena to retire, not my GOAT. What were your emotional thoughts on John Cena retiring, guys?
I mean, personally, I would go ahead, Larry. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, Rob, you already got my reaction out of it. I didn't. It's like we don't. I mean, it's not like he's been there like that. We understand the legend that he is, but I gave it the Stephen A. face, the Stephen A. face that I always send you. I gave it that.
How dare you? How dare you? No, what, Larry? Stop, Larry. Darrell, give him his moment. Stop it, Larry.
I guess.
Give him his moment.
So,
how dare you?
Here's the thing about it. Look, John Cena has inspired a generation of wrestlers since 2004 or whatever. I've never been a big Cena fan personally.
How dare? No, hold on.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was a big Thugonomics Cena fan. Big Thugonomics Cena fan. I mean, look, it was funny. It worked. Once he became, and this is not anything against Make-A-Wish, but when he became Make-A-Wish John Cena, it just got really it got kind of corny. But what he was doing for the kids was amazing. Now that's all jokes aside. Like what he was doing for the kids was amazing. I 600 Make-A-Wish wishes, granted, that's beautiful. But I feel like, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but it's under his tutelage as champion where WWE went down. I mean, you got to look at the brand wasn't the same, during his reign of championships. I mean, if you look at the period from the time that he won it up until then, there was a little bit of, cooking in the beginning, but you still had greats like, Eddie Guerrero and them kind of still around helping to push that reign. But when he was the main attraction, we talked about how many people didn't get that push because he was there. Umaga being one of those guys where he had a heck of a match with him at that Royal Rumble. Was it the Royal Rumble? And, Umaga should have won that match. Umaga was on the rise, took it away from him, he just didn't get that shot. So look, overall, I respect what John Cena has done for wrestling, but you won't get no tears from me. The Sting farewell tour was way more emotional for me than you will get out of me for the John Cena farewell tour. I will appreciate it as a wrestling fan, and it'll be cool to say, okay, we saw that. But other than that, no.
Well, Darrell,
happy retirement.
Larry, you guys disappoint me.
Sorry.
John Cena, the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
and I said
Michael Cole's book
as a joke. But let me be honest here, guys. And Larry, let me say this to you. You are 1,000% correct. He sucks, dog. Let me tell y'all something.
I never said he didn't say that he sucks. I just said we didn't care. No,
Larry, he sucks and we don't care. Let me tell you guys something. There was once a guy named Bruce Blitz who is no longer on the internet. He probably got banned because of all the things. Yeah, if you go back, look at the videos of Bruce Blitz talking about John Cena. John Cena destroyed so many nights on Monday Night Raw for me. He destroyed so many pay-per-views. Not to mention, he took JTG's deal. When JTG had a deal one time, John Cena screwed it up. If you want to hear about that, go read about it. He screwed up JTG's deal one time. John Cena has screwed over so many people. And remind you, this was the time when he was, you know what era he was really in? He was in the shovel era with him and Triple H when they dug everybody into the ground. Nobody could win anything. You couldn't barely get any new talent through the door. He held the world title way too long. Batista was better. Shelton Benjamin wrestled in the John Cena era. He was so much better than John Cena. Shelton Benjamin was on the level of a Brock Lesnar because they came out of college together, etc. But I'll say this. He's going to retire at WrestleMania, and it's going to be in Vegas. Guys, I'm hoping and I'm praying. Please do not let it be against The Rock. Please. Please, God, do not let it be against Roman Reigns. And please, God, whatever you do, do not make it for the world championship that he hands it over, and they can say nobody ever beat him for it. Because why do I have a feeling they're gonna do some stupid shit like that?
Well, the only person that, if he's gonna have a retirement match, the only person he should have a retirement match with, if it was somebody from his era, it needs to be Edge. But obviously, Edge is not going to be there unless AEW is nice enough to let him out. So, out of this newer generation, it's gonna be kind of hard to pick somebody for him that I could be like, okay, that's the person that should retire him. I couldn't even tell you who I would go with right now, but that's the part. I don't know.
Well, well, Drew says, "What's up, fellas?" Jacob Fox,
what's up, Drew?
Will be world champ for the solo wannabe TC Sequoia. Yeah, or Solo the Caesar. Where listen, coming to a branding near you guys. Caesar Solo coming very soon to a place near you. But anyway, guys, I totally agree. John Cena era absolutely killed wrestling. Now, remember, guys, this was also the era of the Bella Twins. And remember how many women did not get put over because of the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
Just remember, Naomi's 36 now. She was in her early 20s back then. Her career was wasted for years because of people like the Bella Twins and the Divas title. So I say this, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible. So long, sayonara, see you later, goodbye. We don't ever want to see you again. Larry, your final word. And please, I was just joking before, but as you know now, I'm agreeing with you. Get disrespectful. Talk about Mr. Cena and your feelings about.
Get disrespectful.
Tell us your feelings about his dinosaur punk ass. Hustle. Before you go, hustle, loyalty, and respect. All that garbage, like The Rock said.
Well, it's not a goodbye, sayonara. It's not just yet. Not just yet. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be sticking around. In spotty appearances through WrestleMania. So
why?
He's the GOAT.
But do you really feel
what? Of getting naked in movies because he can't act?
Michael Cole said this. I'm just telling you what the greatest announcer of all time said.
I'm gonna start calling him Cast and Couch John.
Does he really need a match?
Say it again. Say it again, Larry.
Does he really need a match though? Like, do you really have to have a match to go out? Like, you haven't been there for the last recent years. Like, does it really matter?
Give me a prediction. Guys. Who does he face at Mania 25?
I don't know, man. Like, if there's somebody in this generation that's gonna want to face him because that was their hero growing up.
Can I get serious for a second?
Yeah.
You know what would be fitting? For Bo Dallas to face him and Bo Dallas to beat him and get revenge for his brother. Remember Bo Dallas said, we have to get vengeance for basically my brother. Bo Dallas against John Cena. Bo Dallas beats John Cena. He gets revenge for his brother. What do you think? What do you think?
I can deal with that. I mean, I can deal with that.
Because they got to wrestle sometime this century.
Right. But I think Orton will probably be the guy If Orton is, I think Orton would be the guy. If they're going to pick somebody, if they go new school, or younger talent, then they go that route. But I think this may end up being a thing where it's a double retirement, because Orton, as much as we love Orton, he's there and he's still doing Orton things. But I wouldn't be surprised if Orton, as they get closer, is like, hey man, we're making this a double retirement. So if I had to do a prediction as of, what is this, June? No, this is July. We're in months, different months. It's June 6th.
Whatever the hell month is.
Yeah, whatever month it is. I said June 6th, 2024. I would say Orton if it's right now. That's who I would pick.
I mean, by the time WrestleMania gets here, Orton's gonna look like Batista if he keeps getting bigger. Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you.
What's going on here? So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good discussion about the dinosaur, known as the Fruity Pebbles, known as Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect.
Also, I want to say that that Orton match, it would be very fitting because of the history.
Right.
So much history between those two. It's got to be fitting. Plus, like Rail said, I mean, Orton, Rob, we see it every week. We talk about it every week. Like, man, this guy is breaking down, man.
Right.
Yeah, he is. Because, like I said, he's getting bigger. I mean, and let me say this too: Michael Cole and who's the other announcer? I keep forgetting his name. Corey Graves. Hey, Corey Graves is delivering, guys.
I got to give him credit.
Corey Graves is starting. At first, I wasn't a fan a couple years ago. Corey Graves is starting to really develop, guys. I like Corey Graves.
I don't know if I still don't like him as much as a color commentator, but he's done a really good job on play-by-play on SmackDown. I was surprisingly shocked, but I guess all those years of being around Cole has really helped him out. Like, you can really see a difference in there. So I will give him credit there. Like, I didn't know how him and Wade Barrett were going to work on SmackDown, but it has really worked. They've done a really good job over there. So kudos to him on that. Kudos to him on that.
You know who didn't do a good job tonight?
Referee.
Damian Priest. I mean, not Damian. Well, Damian Priest did fine. But the person who didn't do anything was Drew McIntyre. They made the worst mistake of the night. When Cole said, "Holy shit, it's CM Punk." Holy shit. That's what happened, because right here, ladies and gentlemen, Damian Priest retains the World Heavyweight Championship after some reason, some way. Drew McIntyre cashes in and makes the match a three-way in one of the dumbest, most idiotic, most stupid moves in wrestling history. Long-term storyline wise, it was beautiful, because we also got a stare down between CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Right.
But man, because honestly, guys, let's just talk about the beginning of the match. Lady sitting beside me says, "Is he an eagle?" Talking about Seth Rollins in his outfit. She's like, "Is he an eagle?" She was like, "Is that an eagle?" She's like, "Look at his wings."
An eagle is too funny.
What? Both guys look blown up. Rollins like he was out of shape. Damian Priest, for some reason, looked like he was out of shape. Both guys look blown up. I don't know what the hell they were eating in Canada. I don't know if they went to Drake's house and went to a buffet, but both of them dudes were blown up, man. But you know what? Yeah, hey, man, listen. But unlike them, they're not like us, because we bring the heat. Yeah, they didn't bring the heat tonight. They not like us. They not like us. Anyway, shout out to Kendrick Lamar on the West Coast. But anyway, guys, talk about this match and how much of a disaster it was.
Well, all right. So, I mean, the way it was going, I had a feeling Priest was going to come out of this no matter what. I didn't see Seth
I did too,
winning.
but not in that fashion.
Not in this fashion. In the back of my mind, I thought, okay, they put the men's match first. There's a reason why they're putting the men's match first. So I was like, okay, he's definitely cashing in. But in what form will he actually win it? Larry, you might have said this to me while we were talking earlier, but I think that he was like, yeah, he's gonna cash in, and CM Punk's gonna ruin it. It might have, all I can say is this: the match wasn't. But the way it went down was just like, wow. And then you get the referee on the count. And a lot of people think that Priest may have been knocked out for a second. That's why he didn't lift his arm up or whatever. And you saw the referee, when he went to 2, he never hit the 3 count. His hand did the swoop where he just looked like he touched the mat and he just went up and said 2, but Priest never moved. And so that part of it will be a little controversial, and it wasn't obviously supposed to happen right then and right there. But even if they did, let's say that they just went through it and said, "Oh, Seth wins the match," you still could have had Drew come in. Now it would have threw plans off with Priest, But the way I look at it overall, when it comes down to it all, beautifully done when it comes to the storytelling, like you said, Rob, because now something that happened all the way back in January, all the heat that we were getting from Seth Rollins and CM Punk not liking each other, that's all of a sudden resurfaced because of this match.
Yes.
And then Drew, obviously, and Drew and CM Punk have been going at it for months. Even when CM Punk wasn't like physically wrestling, they've been going at it for months. Now Damian Priest is kind of like a side chick in this. He's there. He's there, but
that's why he was so pissed off. That's why he was so pissed off.
And the other part about it that kind of made it believable that Seth Rollins might actually have an opportunity to win this match is because back in January when Seth got hurt after the Royal Rumble, Gunther came up to him and was like, I want to face you at WrestleMania for the title. So he implanted that seed. And so now we got a situation, and I'm not ashamed to say it, that I feel like that the World Heavyweight Championship right now is way more important than the WWE Championship.
Whoa.
And that's where it is. It's where it is.
Are you trying to tell me that everybody's favorite son, everybody's working hard on the farm, working hard down the road, Cody Rhodes? You trying to tell me? Because guess what? Because honestly, let's be honest about this, right? Not only right now, the World Heavyweight, the Undisputed Championship and the Undisputed Women's Championship are the lowest on the totem pole because they ain't doing nothing with them.
Yeah, they're not.
And when it comes to Cody Rhodes, I mean, yeah, he beat AJ Styles, but I mean, we have seen that storyline before. The title didn't get defended tonight, on Money in the Bank. I mean, Cody's been an underwhelming champion. And right now, Damian Priest has been more impressive by what he's been doing. If you think about the list of the people he's beaten. And now he's going into SummerSlam. He's going to SummerSlam. And I could argue that Damian Priest and Gunther is a better match than anything that Cody could do. That's a 5-star match, in my opinion. Those are two heavy hitters, man. Larry, respond to that. Respond to that, man. That's some big words, Darrell. I like that.
I don't know what you mean by underwhelming champion, though, because like his title defenses have been pretty good so far.
Who, Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I'll say it real quick, but I'll go. I'm gonna tell you why he's saying that. Here's the thing: Cody won this title, and now they didn't really have a true challenger waiting for him to like. They pretty much had to make up challengers over the last couple of months. Obviously, AJ Styles is a very formidable person to challenge for a title, but the problem is there was no buildup. They just kind of like, okay, AJ Styles is in there. His title defenses have been that way. That's the vibe that I've gotten from it. They haven't set anything up. Why? Because they're waiting for The Rock to come back. They're waiting for Roman and all that stuff to say. And even with this situation tonight, and I know we're getting to that a little bit, it's the same dream. Like they haven't found that opponent to really drag that reign. With the World Heavyweight Championship, the reason why I was saying what I was saying about it being more important, you got 5 guys right now that could be champion, and you wouldn't be surprised they were champion, but they're all in the mix, and they all in like one storyline together, it feels like. They all have some type of pinpoint, and it could be either one of them, and you would not be surprised. And that's why I say that the World Heavyweight Championship right now is way more important than the WWE, Undisputed Championship. It's just they don't have anything to go off. Everybody in their mind right now can say, oh, man, it's easy. Cody's going to have the belt at WrestleMania. You can't say that about the World Heavyweight Championship. There's some type of who is it going to be? How's it going to play? You don't know what the storyline is going to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's the championship right there.
Yeah, and when I look at the World Heavyweight Championship, you just don't know what direction it's going to go in. But you look at the future of it, Gunther winning it, there's so many possibilities. Yes. Look at what they have on Raw with the Braun Breaker. And guys, you don't know when Netflix comes around. We don't know if the whole roster is going to start going to Raw. We don't know if this this whole draft this past year was a complete disaster. Let's be honest. It was a complete utter disaster. This whole thing about having the roster split. Eventually, guys, it's got to go away. It's so much talent. I know that. But look, you know what tonight reminded me of a little bit when everybody was putting it on the line? It reminded me of the Attitude Era. Remember back then with Undertaker had a quote one time talking about how everybody, when they came to the arena, wanted to put it all on the line. And as cool as Triple H is with the talent, he's like, look, guys, you got to either put it on the line or you're going to be in the back of the line. So that's what I saw tonight. And I look at a guy like Damian Priest. He's putting in the work. His mic skills definitely need work. And they need work big time. But I'm going to tell you this. Be look out for him and Finn Balor in the future. Maybe they're saving something for that. I don't know. But him and Finn Balor are going to have a confrontation here sooner or later, I think.
I feel
go ahead, Blair.
Especially with whatever Finn said after Damian left the locker room. And plus with Finn, you know, having that it was with the other title then, but him losing that title and him never really, you know, getting the title back, you know,
the Universal Championship. Yep.
Yeah, I know he had a couple
the red fruit up the red fruit roll up title.
Yeah. He had a couple chances at, you know, a championship, but never actually, you know, getting that title back. So, you know, it's something there with that too. I just think that the Judgment Day? The Judgment Day is on the decline right now. Or Finn Balor is that guy. So.
Long-term storytelling. Once again, I know I preach it, but that's what's happening. I mean, it's brilliantly done, because I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Damian gets past Gunther at SummerSlam to set up Finn. And that's another reason where you could be like, okay, I can see Finn, you know, maybe becoming champion. Could
Braun Strowman get a chance at the title?
Oh God, no.
Please, God, no.
God, no.
But I'm just saying, because you know how the whole Strowman train has been coming after the
man,
coming after the Judgment Day. Because you know what happened last time Braun Strowman was involved in a championship match somehow, some way.
Yeah,
Roman Reigns came back.
He cost my guy a title, man.
Yeah,
shame on him, man. Shame on him, man.
Oh my goodness, man! Please don't let that happen. Now, guys, to the next match. Now, before I go to this next match, folks, what I want to do here is I want to talk about real quick, and I'm not going to talk about them too long, but me and Darrell had this little conversation on the Facebook on the internets.
Yeah.
These right here was published last year on June the 15th. These are the 5 greatest Money in the Bank ladder matches of all times, according to this site. Orton versus Rob Van Dam versus CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan versus Christian versus Sheamus, Money in the Bank 2013. Number 4, Ambrose, Del Rio, Cesaro, Jericho, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Money in the Bank 2016. That was a good Money in the Bank in 2016. I heard that was good. Number 3, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, Seth Rollins, 2014 Money in the Bank. That was another good one. At number 2, we had CM Punk, Mr. Kennedy, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy versus Edge versus Randy Orton versus King Booker versus Finlay in 2007. That's definitely, that one's definitely top 5. But number 1, according to the experts, and I can agree that this is definitely top 2, no doubt about it. Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit versus, I know we're not supposed to say that name, versus Chris Benoit versus Christian versus Shelton Benjamin, there goes that name again, versus Edge versus Kane, WrestleMania 21, April 3rd, 2005. That was a great match. But I say all that to say this, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton wins Money in the Bank in a match that I claim, and I will say, is one of the greatest Money in the Bank matches I've ever seen. And I stand by that. Now the one at WrestleMania was great, but that match right there, the spots and everything, oh man, it was a great match. Darrell, disagree with me, please.
I don't know why I'm the only person that feels like this was a bad match. I went on the internet.
You feel like it was a bad match?
So look, I went on the internet and everybody's praising it, and I'm like, why? I mean, it was so botchy. One, it was a very botchy match, and everybody was just kind of like the hesitation. So here's the thing: if you watch the men's match, obviously it was a lot cleaner. Like the hesitation on the ladder is a little bit smoother. That hesitation on the ladder is really slow. They get up to the top of the ladder. Chelsea Green literally had it unhooked with her in her hand, and instead of just picking it up like this, she gets pushed off the ladder. It's the emotion. It's the way that, especially with ladder matches nowadays, whenever it's the belt's on the top or whatever, the emotions of the match, it has to also feel clean. The spots were great in this match. That I won't take away. When EO killed Zoe Stark, that was
with
good.
the Mission Usu driver.
Yeah, that was good. All that was good.
Valkyria, with the backflip to Io Sky with Io. Oh my god.
Yeah, that stuff was good. But for me, I just feel like it would have jumped off the screen at me if it was a really good match.
Can we also get a hand clap for Naomi's split that went into a tornado DDT? Can we please get a hand clap for that? Besides wrestling, who cares about the match at that point? She split and then did a tornado DDT. Naomi with all that green hair and shit.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Getting her fake Aaliyah Boston on. Go ahead, Larry.
Very, very impressive. You already know how I feel about Naomi.
Oh man,
very impressive though. Chelsea Green also had that. Who did she bounce off that ladder?
Oh,
it was
man.
Naomi. It was
I think it was on Io Sky. I want to say it was Io Sky. Yeah.
It was Io Sky. So that was a bright spot for Chelsea Green, even though she, kind of like, held out for most of the match. But and as Darrell said, she had her moment where she had to do was just pick that thing up, man, and it just. I thought that was her moment.
It was right there.
Well, what about Valkyrie with the tarantula suplex to Io Sky from the middle of the ladder? Look,
that
man, Io Sky took a lot of bumps in this match. She took a lot of bumps, but I will say this, guys: they need to get rid of damage control. I mean, at this point, it's just damaged. It's just damaged. There's no control. It's just damaged. Let Io Sky just do her thing, man. Because she right now is just the best competitor in that group, and everybody might be hurt or everybody needs to go their separate ways. I mean, it's one of those cases where I just think that she showed out in this match. I think Valkyrie showed out in this match. And I think Naomi showed out.
Yeah, I just like I said, one of the greatest. But I feel like, and I said I don't remember the other matches, the other women's matches. I don't like talking about, and I'd have to go back and look at it. But I feel like to me, it would have popped off. Like the spots were good for the most part, but just the match being a clean match, there was a lot of things that just was like, nah, that don't feel good. Like I lost interest at one point, and it wasn't until like the very end where it kind of picked up a little bit. So for me, I was like, nah.
You lost interest. Oh my goodness.
I did.
Oh my goodness.
There was parts of it where it was just like, it was just happening. And
maybe I was a little bit into the moment, but. What do you guys think about Tiffany Stratton winning? Do you think that Tiffy time? Let me just say this. Let me just say this to the wrestling world. Please do not let Nia Jax win that championship, which she should, and then this girl come out and steal the belt. Please don't let that happen.
Oh, she's taking that. Even if it doesn't happen right away, she's taking that title. Like Jax will win, and Tiffany will win, but it wouldn't surprise me the other one way or the other because. Tiff had that little bit of a beef with Bayley too, so it kind of, it could work either way.
Can I possibly get her to cash in on SmackDown and then go one-on-one Nia and Nia beats her? Because we did get a tease night as well, guys. We got a tease of the breast.
Of what now?
We got a tease of the breast. The breast match. Listen, on one side we have Tiffany Stratton, then we have Trish Stratus. Puppies!
You funny.
In the words of Jerry the King Lawler.
You funny. Oh,
puppies!
Yeah.
And so look, the puppies match. And listen, if those two go against each other, they're gonna bring back the Divas Championship as a mid-card title.
If they bring it back as a mid-card title, I guess I can deal with that, but they don't even call them Divas anymore. I thought the Divas title was sweet, by the way. I'm not gonna lie to you. Low key. It was a nice belt.
So what do you think, Larry, of Tiffy time winning the Tiffy time Money in the Bank?
What I hope happens is that she doesn't how Damian Priest had that, almost a year before he even cashed in. I hope it's like those types of situations because you got Nia Jax. I think y'all talked about it just a minute ago. You got Nia Jax, her and Nia Jax are kind of like this now. And I would hate for Nia to win that and then Tiffany Stratton cash in on her.
Yo, Larry, you just said something that just made my mind go crazy. I hope Tiffany Stratton doesn't have her Brock Lesnar moment. And this is what I mean. Bianca and Jade have a great match at WrestleMania, and then Stratton comes out and ruins it. And but WWE would do something like that.
Well, I just know right now that they would do it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but there's only two people in my mind that I felt like could win this match and carry it for a while, and that was Tiffy, and then I thought also Chelsea Green. Those are the two in my opinion. I love Naomi, and I think it would have been a good story to an extent, but I think those are the only two that could carry based off of how I think the storylines would have went.
True.
Chelsea Green is just funny, so she would have, even though it would have been like a comedy relief to an extent, you know, she would make it interesting. But Tiffy is more on the, you know.
By them still separating Bianca and Jade, not having them have any physical contact, just being their tag team. Do you think that hurt that match for you in the sense the road? Would you have liked to have seen one of them in this match?
No, I think they did the right thing. It's not time.
It's not time, right?
It's not time yet. I mean, it's at first I would have been like, man, one of them got to get in. But once Bianca didn't get in, you know, and I don't think Jade's ready for that type of match yet. She would have played Drew. She would have played the Drew McIntyre role if she was in this match tonight. Gotcha.
So when we get to when we get to Royal Rumble, one of these ladies have got to win that match. Am I right or wrong? When Royal Rumble gets here, either Jade or Bianca have to win the Royal Rumble. They have to.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Larry? Because if we didn't see them tonight, then you know. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. So let's get to the final match of the night as the Bloodline wins and the entire Canada says, "You Solo, you Solo."
You picked the worst picture of Solo.
You Solo. They said, "You Solo." Let's get to this match, guys. We saw the debut of one Jacob Fatu. The biggest spot in this match to me was when Randy Orton hit him with his patented DDT. He gets up. Randy Orton turns around, hits the mat, looks up. You know what that moment was reminiscent of? The Undertaker when he faced Jake the Snake. And Bobby Brain Heaton said, "I've never seen Jake the Snake get dominated like this." A little wrestling history for you folks out there. But that was reminiscent of that because the debut was so strong and he was so menacing. And the comments about he should be locked up and how Triple H had to pull strings to get him in Canada. It's like, man, I think Jacob Fatu was the star of this match, even though Solo won and he pinned Cody Rhodes. I think the star was Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, but I think that's what they want. They see the ability of what Fatu can bring, you know, to the Bloodline and to the company as a whole, and they have to find a way to establish his character because people know about him on the outside. And I got to give Rob credit because Rob was the one that kind of mentioned a couple months ago to me. He was like, "Darrell, I'm telling you, watch out." So I started peeking at him. I was like, "Oh, this dude gonna be crazy when he get to WWE." So I give Rob credit on that. He's been calling it for at least a couple of months, if not longer than that. And so, you know, for me, I think the match went the way it should have. Like I needed the Bloodline to win this match. It doesn't make any sense for Cody Rhodes to win this match and hurt the Bloodline storyline. You need it to continue to grow. And if you have them lose this match, unless some craziness happens, like you have to, you know, find a way to still make them strong in the match. They did the right thing here.
What do you think, Larry? Who do you think was the star in this match?
Absolutely. I think the star of this match was it was two stars. It was Jacob Fatu, of course, and then Solo getting the win. So Solo, it's something about Solo. I don't know if you guys feel this way. When Solo and his music, when he comes to the ring, it just spells like heavyweight champion, future heavyweight champion. It's like a boxer coming to the ring.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about something. Sometimes I'll be on my walks, man. I'll be on my walks out there just walking, you know, get my exercise in. I put on that Solo music. Dim, taking it all. Yo, man, that should go hard, bro. That should go hard.
They need to continue to elevate him.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Even though it probably won't result in a championship, but him, you know, coming from the enforcer to now you're the new Bloodline tribal chief. I mean, I think it's a good spot for him. I just wish there was a championship involved.
What eventually is going to happen is you're going to have the Tongas if one of the Tongas can stay healthy. Eventually you're going to have either them hold the tag team championships, or you're going to have Tama and you're going to have Jacob hold the tag team titles, or you'll have the Tongas hold the title. Jacob will have the U.S. title, and Solo will have the undisputed championship. Eventually, we got to see that intersection again, where you have the Usos win the tag team championships on Raw against the Usos against the Bloodlines tag team champions. Eventually we're gonna see it, and we could have another Civil War where you have champions against champions. You could have Solo against Roman. I think Roman is going to Raw, in my opinion. I think that he's eventually going to get that World Heavyweight Championship, and I think we could see some cross-brand stuff. I don't know. It would be interesting, but this Bloodline storyline isn't going away. As everybody said, that the Bloodline storyline is old and it's going away. Well, if it's going away, then why were they the main event tonight?
I mean, look, there was a point where I thought it got a little stale. It was starting to get a smidge stale, but they've done a good job of, cranking it right back up. And I mean, it's ready for a long-term push, and then that's, I'll be honest with you. I've been tuning in to SmackDown the last couple of weeks just to see how they were going to react to. Not that I wouldn't have watched it one way or the other, but that was definitely a key point for me.
But guys, be honest with yourselves tonight and in the past couple of weeks, because you've seen these different storylines. When Roman Reigns left, you're kind of like, oh, I'm SmackDown, I'll catch it. But now it's like, I gotta watch it. It's not that I might catch it. I gotta see what the Bloodline's going to do. And I think that on SmackDown, which I'll get into my night on my wrestling preview shows, and I talk about Raw and SmackDown, the whole mafia type look from Solo and the crew, just perfect, just absolutely perfect. And the person I think looked the worst tonight, and I mean this with no disrespect, Kevin Owens' mind is not in that match. Kevin Owens should not have been wrestling tonight. Kevin Owens' mother's in the hospital. I hope that's not a storyline. I'm pretty sure it's not a storyline. I'm sure it's true. He should not have been wrestling tonight. Kevin Owens should have been with his mother. There are things that are bigger than wrestling. And to me, guys, that was bigger than wrestling. He had no business being in that ring. And Cody Rhodes looked bad as well. His performance wasn't great tonight. Sorry for the Cody Rhodes fans. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me overall, from what I saw from this match, I think it did what it needed to do. Kevin Owens definitely wasn't on his game. I thought Randy did shine tonight. Even, he was Randy Orton. Randy Orton was doing Randy Orton things. So I felt like, and this is another example where I feel like that Cody's not, they're not doing a good job so far of getting Cody that competition or making the title reign seem relevant. Because when he comes in, obviously people, when they come out and you hear the song, oh, that's the energy. Then the match gets going, and you may get a little something here and there. But to me, they tried to bump it up a little bit, but Solo and the crew was able to do it, and I think that's what they needed from this match, and I think they got what they needed done from the match.
If Obi Femi loses tomorrow night, do you bring him to the SmackDown and maybe make him a challenger? Ooh. You think he's ready?
I don't want to do that just yet.
I
like him, but I don't want to do that just yet. That's a year from now.
Yeah,
that's a year from now. I don't think I pull him up just yet because they're still trying to establish Carmelo. You like
true.
Yeah.
What about Trick? If he loses tomorrow night, do you bring him up?
He's another one.
He needs about another year and a half or something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe after WrestleMania next year. Yeah, but I'm not yet. Not yet. They just kind of made him the face. That was a lot of mistakes that, in the Vince era. They would get a star, they make him champion, like Keith Lee. Keith Lee won the title, and then they took it away from him just like that.
I was never a fan of Keith Lee, man. I thought he was trash. But, I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he was the guy. But saying all that, guys, just give an overall rating of the show. I give Money in the Bank a 9 out of 10. I think that the thing, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think the thing that killed it was that 3-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think I think they could have done more with that. CM Punk really, I think, saved the match in a lot of ways, saved the whole program because he came in, it was hot. But a lot of us kind of knew CM Punk was going to show up, either him or AJ Lee. So I give it an 8 out of 10. What do you guys think?
I'm same there. I'm an 8 out of 10. I think it was a good, solid pay-per-view. It got what it needed to get done. To
storyline wise,
to keep push things going. So I'm good with an 8. I'm good for an 8.
Yeah, about the same 8. One of the things I didn't like was the triple threat with Drew.
We agree on that, definitely.
It just seemed like Drew, we already know what's building toward it with Drew and CM Punk, but it just seemed like, damn, man, Drew just can't take a break, man.
Yeah.
He can't catch it. So,
but he one thing about we can say about Drew, man, he's playing Drew McIntyre. He's playing his role the correct way. He's playing his role. He's sacrificing for the company where he could be in AEW winning championships and dominating everybody for sure.
Mhm.
Just real quick before we get off air, guys, and you guys say your final word for the night. Just a yes or no. Do you think Trick Williams wins the 4-way tomorrow night? I say yes.
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 Yes, most definitely.
Yep. Well, my final word, guys, is this. For when it comes to tonight's show, WWE is hot. It's going to continue to be hot. It was in Toronto, Canada. I can't wait for SummerSlam in Cleveland. It's going to be on fire. So many great things come down the pipe. So, hey, man, wrestling's on fire all around. So, just can't wait to see what we have next. And NXT Heat Wave is tomorrow night. So, the Heat ain't going nowhere. Just like here in Virginia, the Heat ain't going nowhere.
You ain't never lie.
Sheesh. So, what's your guys' final word? Go first, Larry.
Check us out tomorrow night, man.
It's going to be explosive. Hey, Larry, by the way, speaking of fire, who's the first topic we're talking about tomorrow night? But between Mr. Carr and Mr. Allen.
Yeah, Derek Carr and Dennis Allen.
We're going to get into them tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Darrell. What's your final word on the show, brother?
Hey, man, it was great to be back on. Just y'all get out there and watch some wrestling, man, and just like I said, enjoy all the great shows on the Legacy Maker Sports Network. Thank you all for tuning in.
Hey, congratulations, everybody. Larry got great things going on. Darrell, you got kids graduating. You still only 28 years old out here making magic happen. We got the ACC Media Day coming up this upcoming month. We're gonna kill that. We got football coming. We got everything coming, guys. We got everything. So Legacy Maker Sports Network, Rob Johnson Media, Game Time Sports Network. You guys have a great night. We'll see you later. Gold Standard Wrestling out.